I never had much interest about photography before because I didn't have an eye for it. I didn't know what I was supposed to see in the pictures and nothing really spoke to me. It was simply an art form that I didn't connect with. Until the day that I stumbled upon this, Brendon Burton's work. I instantly fell in love with the aesthetic and most importantly, for the first time, I felt like I understood something through a photograph. But the thing that ultimately started this project was the legendary Walkie-Talkie with Trevor Wisecup.
Oh, this guy's tight. You look amazing.
What are you doing over here? Take that out of your thing, bro.
Whoa.
Which inspired me to actually go out and take pictures. From there, I tried to bring my gear everywhere I went and shot as much as I can, which is what I'm sharing with you today. What I learned from taking pictures every day for 30 days. So the first days I went to a park and I went to visit a museum to have a subject to shoot, and let's roll quickly through these first images. So in this one I thought that the alley of leaves here would be interesting with the car on the side, but I think the result is not that good. Maybe it was a different angle and no people, it could be better, but yeah, nothing special. I like this image a lot. I think the backlight in the background and the rays of shadow here are really nice. Maybe with a bit better angle the picture could be better, but that's a cute one. With this one I wanted to play with the fact that there was this water jet that was coming out of the hand of this guy going on the girl, but I think the grain, the quality of the image just doesn't work so well, and my focus is not that good neither. This could be a nice image with more work. Then I went to the museum, right? Yeah, this place is so beautiful. Maybe I wish that there was no people because it kind of takes away from the image. I like how the coat of the lady clashes with the white background and how it reminds us of the black part here. This room was so cool. Like in this one, you could spend 2 hours just playing with the angles and taking so many pictures, and there were videos on the sides too that you can see here where you could play with how it looks when you look through it. Like I just wish I was a much better photographer because like this place was so inspiring to take pictures. Here I tried the macro focus. So then what I tried to do is I tried to cheat a little bit, and when I was going to crowded places with people with like expensive gear, I would follow them and trying to see what they're shooting at to just have an idea of like what is a good angle or what is something interesting to shoot. And this one, there were even photographers taking pictures of other photographers that are taking pictures, maybe for their portfolio, for their lookbook, whatever. So I think this is definitely a famous spot, but I don't know, my photo wasn't not that special. This one too, there was a lady in front of me who took a picture with her phone of this. I'm trying to do the same. I don't know, it's not that special. Being in the city, one thing that was so annoying for me is that it's so crowded. There are always cars, always people passing, and you see you're just trying to take like a cute picture of somewhere. I think the frame of this one is pretty cool actually, but there's always someone. And here sometimes it bothers the picture less, it's kind of like part of the image, but I do feel like it's really a artistic choice whether you want to capture people and the movement or not at all, and you want something that is more pure or just like targeting something else. I think this picture has potential, but it's just with so many people walking, and the cars are so ugly too. Like really, one thing though, as this is a night picture, is then I realized that okay, if I want less people on the shot, so I want less cars, then I should probably go at night to take pictures. But then I started to be more aware about lighting and the color palette of the image. So yeah, I think the light coming on your subject is so important, because if your image is underexposed, just like here, the colors just don't pop out enough at all. And then maybe in post-edit you can make them a bit more saturated, but I don't like this grayish look. I think I'd rather go for night photography and really have nice darks, or go for something during the day with bright sunlight and vivid colors. This was a nice sunlight. This shot could be cool, but right now it just looks quite sad, I would say. Here is another example of that. And this is an example of going out at, it's like beginning of the nighttime, and the sky was like this blue light that was so pretty, and that complements really well with the yellow that you can see here, that you have here. Here is another angle. But then as we were talking about the night photography, it's, I mean, with my gear, with a phone, like night photography just doesn't look good. And that's when I started to think about like the black and white, because we talked about edit a little bit. And you see, like I thought that this spot was powerful, just with the alley and then the tall buildings and all the different shapes in the building. And here it's like a filter of making things, I don't have the technical words, but you see like it's making more contrasts. And here is a black and white one. And I think the one that looks the worst out of the three is this one, definitely. This one probably is the coolest. And the black and white one is not so bad, but I feel like with this filter you lose less details and it accentuates well the part that were more interesting about this image. So I experimented a bit with photo editing, with color editing, but the thing is, personally I'm someone that hates having too many options. I'm like always undecisive, and if I start toying with like a little bit of the saturation and the contrast and a bit more blue, a bit less red in the image, it's like this endless possibilities, and for me, for my type of brain, is just like insane waste of time, and I think I'm just not gonna end up with cool results. So at that point I really thought that I wanted to learn how to use my gear the best way possible and use it for the right things, if that makes sense. Like if I really want to do night photography, then have a camera that is good for that and knowing how to use it well, and having to do mostly nothing in post, having, you know, the image that looks the most the way I want it to look like from the gear itself. Because then I think photo editing is so cool, but I take this example where it's like that's a picture of me, right? And then it's completely edited, completely changed and repurposed for something else. And I'd rather go crazy on Photoshop and change the images to make this kind of effect rather than using, you know, like Room or such to tweak some colors on my images. It's less fun for me. Another point too is how much I realized that I really didn't like the orange colors in the streets. Like Paris is very orange because at nighttime and with the pollution, just like there are so many of these spotlights. I think I have other examples, right? Like so many of these spotlights everywhere where that makes the sky look orange and the street looks orange. And personally, it's just, I don't like the way this looks at all. And it's less worse in real life, but on images, it just doesn't look good. So one day I used my brain and I realized that I had a tint, like, you know, color warmth slider on the phone, and well, I went all out on the other way, but then you can just ask it to be more blue. You see these lights don't look orange anymore instantly. And from there I was like, wow, I'm gonna use that all the time. You know how I mentioned Trevor Wisecup work and how he loves to capture moments that happened, and one of the cool things of doing this photography thing is how much you look way more at all the details outside and the thing happening around you. And there was this super cute couple holding hands and being kind of lost in this part of the exhibition. And I think this shot itself doesn't look good because I think I didn't take it right, but the idea of it, you know, like better framed than if I was closer, and like this could be an amazing shot. But so many times, yeah, I thought amazing moments that I would have loved to capture, but I don't feel comfortable like intruding people's life, you know. But I do love moments though, and I think I really enjoyed the picture where I reuse this concept where you see like you have two people passing in this square frame. Here was, I think, the warden with a flashlight that was looking for something, and at one point it points it there. Here I wanted to capture this hall with the light at the back, and there's someone with an umbrella and cool shadow happening. And these are shots that you wouldn't really be able to replicate, you know. It's like you can go there and try to take the same shot, but it's just not going to be the same because there are moments that cannot just happen once. One thing though is that sometimes you really know that there are some pictures that you have to delete, and here this is the part where I show all the images that were really bad, that I thought I could make something good of the subject, but it ended up turning really bad. This is my favorite car ever, and I was so stoked to be able to see it in real life and in this configuration. The Porsche Targa 4S is so beautiful, and I took atrocious pictures of it. It looks so bad. This orange light everywhere. Beautiful car, horrible picture. So from there I took a break and I went on YouTube to look for specific photography tips, because I've been out for, at that point, maybe 15-20 days shooting every day, trying to figure things out by myself, and I just really wanted to know more. So I'm gonna list in the descriptions all the videos that I found the most interesting, and I'm gonna leave you with a slideshow and a few more words of what happened after that. This little project felt like going on an adventure every day. You don't know what you're going to find. Maybe you won't find anything at all for a while. And then, as you're on your way back home, empty-handed, you decide to take another path than the usual one. And there, you encounter one or two amazing moments that make the whole experience magical and worth it. I would say though, always looking for something to shoot can also take away the simplicity of being present. You are often thinking, oh, could I make a good picture out of this? Maybe if I switch the angle, maybe if I wait for the light to change. But I'm sure that with time and better skills, the thought process will be less mind-consuming and more natural. As I mentioned earlier, I also went out with a camcorder and took videos with my phone. It's a different approach on capturing the world, and I might like it even more than photography, but that's a topic for another time.